Hey guys, it's your host, Triple C. How is everyone doing today? I hope everyone's having a great day. And today I just want to talk about the future of the line and a couple of things that would be cool if they added to the line. And let's see, guys. This is Bella, baby Bella. We're watching her for the weekend. She's not our dog, but we have 5 dogs in the house now. So she's very lovable and very smart and very sweet. All right, so things I want to talk about first. The first thing I want to mention is crossovers. Crossovers are going to be, I think, where the line is going to go. Now, I don't think crossovers are going to be anything that is numbered. The numbers are going to stay strictly G.I. Joe. But I do see crossovers happening more and more. Because we've got in Lara Croft, and we got in Action Man, a video game, and another series owned by Hasbro. And the video game, Lara Croft, I forgot what company owns that one, but yeah. Anyways, I think we'll see more video game characters in the future. I think we'll see more crossovers of properties that Hasbro owns in G.I. Joe, but I don't think it will be a numbered, unless it's a vehicle. I don't think it'll be a numbered figure. I think it's going to be its own thing. The way Lara Croft is part of retro is a numbered, or legacy is it a numbered? I see them doing legacy style extras for G.I. Joe, but they're still part of G.I. Joe, but they don't have to be part of G.I. Joe, if that makes any sense. Like the legacy soldiers. You don't need them to complete the collection classified, but they are part of G.I. Joe. The same with the retro ones. So there are a couple of lines that I think would be cool if they added to. Some they own, some they don't. For my honorable mentions, the four that they do own, I'll get to in a minute, but the few that they don't own is like Alien and Predator. I think it would be a cool concept for G.I. Joe to explore. I don't know how they would do it, but it'd be a cool concept. And they probably make better figures than the Nickel ones. Even Nickel ones are awesome, they're very fragile. Another one would be just a cool little add-on would be RoboCop, Terminator. A couple would be Rambo, Rocky, and Commando. Maybe they can do a whole sub line of movie heroes. I don't know how well that would go over. I think it would be cool to have them in classified scale, especially the Commando of Arnold Schwarzenegger or Rambo. I think they would fit in with G.I. Joe really well. You can already use Jada Street Fighter figures, and you can use Marvel characters in G.I. Joe if you want to, because they're a 6-inch line. I was thinking of figure lines that aren't in the scale yet, or that Hasbro owns that would be really cool in the line. Like the Terminator or Rambo or stuff like that. But then they do own like cops, Mask, Transformers, um, humanoids, and Jim and the Holograms. I can see them doing those in classified, not Transformers, but the rest of them I can see them doing in classified eventually. Although it would be cool to get at least two on each side of Transformers. One like size of it, take a vamp and a stinger, and take a ferret and a ramp cycle, or a ferret and ferret, or whatever you want to do. On each side, have random Transformers on each side. Have Hound, or you can do the vamp and the Awesome Striker as Hound and Beachcomber, or even Octopus as the vamp and Beachcomber as the Striker, or vice versa, whatever you want. But yeah, I would give them different weapons. The weapons that they came with in the the transforming weapons. But yeah, I think they could do it. I just don't think Hasbro will do it. Next up is a 50-50 coin toss is Mask. We are more likely to see the characters of Mask than the vehicles. Although I think the vehicles would sell really well. Really well. And I think because they are like civilian looking vehicles, that people would want them in the background. And it'd be cool to have a lot of those vehicles. Even if they only did 4, I would want the Raven and the orange car. I can never remember the name of it, with Matt Shocker. And then I want the purple car for the bad guys and the Switchblade. But yeah, if they only get those 4, that'd be fine. Then you can do 4 extra Mask characters without the vehicles, and you can be the passengers of those vehicles. And that'd be awesome. Even if they did 2 a year, 2 vehicles and 2 figures, and then 2 extra figures a year, I think would be a great way to do it. Or they can start with making them, have 2 vehicles as a HasLab for Mask and see where that goes for 1/12 scale. And if it sells well, make the rest. But that's what I would do. And I know a lot of people probably want Matt Tracker in his vehicle. I want the Raven. Personally, it's a Corvette Trans Am looking vehicle that transforms and flies. I used to use it as my kit car, and Michael Knight as a kid, and it was a lot of fun using that. I had a couple of Mask figures, when I think about it, Mask vehicles. I had the orange Jeep, the orange car, the blue car that had 6 wheels and it pop up. I had a truck, the little motorcycle, I said the orange Jeep that had a boat in it, and I had the Raven. And I think I had one other vehicle. The van. I had the van. But yeah, I didn't have everything for them. But I had like to have some fun with it. And it would just be a cool thing to add. My friend, however, had a long semi truck that opened up in the back. which is really cool. And I think they could do it. Maybe not the semi trucks, but the cars. I think they could do for the $100 price point. And they don't even need spring-loaded gimmicks. They need have you transform it. But I do think Mask has potential to become to G.I. Joe. Even if it's just the figure, I prefer having figures in vehicles, but we'll see what happens. I do think they are coming though. I think at least Matt Tracker and the leader of Venom is coming. I don't know when, but I think they probably will come in the next couple of years. And in humanoids, I can see them attaching them to Dr. Mindbender, having him be the creator of the humanoids, the bad guys, the monsters. Yeah, I can see them doing that. And there's only 13 characters in that entire series, so it'd be cool if they did that. Now, and there's two vehicles that they should do with the humanoids. One's a smaller vehicle, one's a medium-sized vehicle, so they could definitely do those. Then there's Gem and the Holograms, and I would like these personally, just because it'd be this is something to add to G.I. Joe. Like that one singer also that is in G.I. Joe, the one that saves Shipwreck and Snake Eyes. I think she should be in it too, but eventually. And Honolulu is another character I think they should make also. But the Jim the Hologram would be a covert spy for G.I. Joe. And you can give him different gear, maybe not weapons per se, but maybe gear to spy on things, like a computer or I don't know. Think of something for them. Microphone for Jim, and the instruments for the rest of them. Maybe a laptop, and then they can have the Misfits and Hector and the female civilian of Jim. Because the female civilian transforms into Jim with the holographic technology, which never made any sense to me. That's not how holograms work, but it's still cool. But yeah, I think that would be an awesome little side piece to G.I. Joe, little side thing for G.I. Joe. But what do you guys think? Do you think we're getting more of this stuff? I think we are going to get more gaming characters. And I would love to see Nathan Drake from Uncharted. And, maybe Solid Snake. And Liquid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. I do think we'll get more of them. I just don't know when or which characters they plan on doing. But the reason I bring it up is because you want G.I. Joe to last. You want it to grow. You don't want it to be stagnant and just have the same stuff over and over and over again. It's going to kill the line that way faster. We have over 200 characters now in G.I. Joe. Well over 200 if you count the Retro and Legacy and 60th Anniversary. Yeah, that's a lot of figures. But there's still a lot out there that we need. A lot of them are sub-teams. And if you want the line to last, don't diss the sub-teams. Because repaints keep the line alive. it's true. It keeps the line alive. I know people don't like the word repaint, but there are parts they reuse all the time. You realize for a single figure, for the whole figure, and not the accessories, it's $10,000 to get it made for a mold of it. That's not including manufacturing and all that for getting a figure made if you want it manufactured. So it's a pretty penny. Now, I'm not giving them an excuse to raise prices because God knows I don't want the prices to go up any further. But I am saying that repaints justify the line to continue. And adding new stuff to the line makes the line continue. Like, for instance, Sundown. He looks awesome. I still need him, and I still want him. And I think he'll go great with Wild Bill. And I had this idea for Wild Bill and Sundown to make a Wild West theme. Excuse me, sorry. Legacy wanted to continue to do Legacy Cowboys, Legacy Indian, Native Americans. They can do, different things from history if they wanted to. But adding like Honolulu, having Wild Bill, having Sundown makes a great cowboy, team right there. It'd be cool to get a sheriff from the Old West, and maybe some bad guys from the Old West. Maybe they travel back in time with Wild Bill and Sundown and Honolulu, got stuck with them, and Cobra, go after Cobra to get the gold in the past from the Wild West. It's something like that, it would be kind of cool to see. Maybe make a Storm Shadow Old West figure, or a Snake Guy Old West figure where you actually see his face. Maybe not a Cobra Commander, but maybe some, outlaws could be part of Cobra, But, they can come up with a million other things to make it work. But, cattle ranchers, you can do whatever you want in your imagination. So, but all I'm saying is that you want the line to grow, and you need to think out what can you do to make the line grow. And I think adding things from outside the norm of G.I. Joe is a good way to do it. Even if it's not your typical G.I. Joe, I think that's probably the best thing for it. Because G.I. Joe is not just grounded military. Now, you may collect this grounded military, and that's your prerogative. That is totally up to you. But G.I. Joe has fantasy, horror, action, adventure, sci-fi, you name it, it has it. Romance, comedy. As far as horror goes, do you guys remember when Iceberg was turned into a whale, and there was all these other half-breeds in cages? They would eat animals and people to get back to normal. They had to eat meat to get back to normal. And you saw one of the animals eat a bird on screen. And that was pretty vicious. So that bird died on screen. Then the one that had a giant blob that would burn everything that would come across and get bigger and bigger. Then they use apple seeds or apples to destroy it with the that poisonous in apples. It's so minute you can't. It doesn't harm us. In large doses, it can harm you. Then there was the whole Frankenstein of Serpentor. That's kind of a horror tale. The first version of Serpentor didn't work out. It was a monster. And then also there was the ghost and a skeleton that came alive after Cobra Commander. I think he tried controlling the ghost. Yeah, there is stuff like that. That's a horror. And the sci-fi element, there's aliens in G.I. Joe lore. There's lasers. There's a jump pad. There's the vehicles. Some of these vehicles are not regulated vehicles. They would not work. Or they get you killed too easily. No matter how cool they are. Like the original Triple T. That vehicle will get you killed probably instantly. Even though it's a cool vehicle. Especially the new version with the lid. But, that's... My point is, G.I. Joe incorporates more than just military aspect. But if that's all you collect, that's awesome. That's up to you. It's your collection. You do what you want to do. Whatever makes you happy. Whatever's in your head canon, you stick with that. You don't have to abide by anybody else's rules when it comes to your personal collection. But, this is where it comes to play. You have to accept there are people out there that like the other stuff and not disrespect it. And that brings me around to Gem the Holograms. Because I saw online that they don't want a girl's toy to be incorporated to G.I. Joe. Now, G.I. Joe is an action figure made for boys, but it's not just boys. Girls, I'm sure, like G.I. Joe also. At least they did when I was a kid. And they play with them. And Gem the Holograms, if you turn that into a G.I. Joe toy, it's officially a boy toy also. That's all I'm trying to say, guys. Don't disrespect the line, and you don't have to embrace everything. If you don't like it, don't like it. That's fine. But, don't ask for just one thing, otherwise the line will end. And that is what I'm getting at right now. I don't think the line is going to go anywhere. I think they're going to continue to expand. I think they're going to continue to add new things to the line. Some things you may not like. Some things you will. That Lara Croft, I think, is a winner. Is selling out in a lot of places. And I think people are going to eat it up. As for the rest, you don't need every single little figure. If you're a mint card collector that has to have everything, it's up to you. But you don't have to have everything unless you want everything. And you don't have to have it if you don't like it. If you don't like it, don't get it. That's all I'm saying. And I hope this message reaches out to a lot of people, because there's a lot of things that they can incorporate into G.I. Joe. Even Cops eventually, I think, would be a great addition to G.I. Joe, the old cartoon series, because that is actually part of the future of G.I. Joe. But I know right now the French Monkey Fiction is doing their version of Cops. I wanted Bulletproof, but I never had the money in time, and he's impossible to get now. Here's the only figure I wanted out of the entire line. But I actually see them doing other cop figures too. A female cop figure for Legacy would be awesome. A female firefighter would be awesome. And medics for the Legacy would be awesome too. To add to the line, you wanted to keep adding new things to the line to make the line grow and expand. Even dreadnoughts could be considered as punks for your street scenes if you wanted them to be. Even though they're a biker gang, which they really do need some bikes for dreadnoughts. I don't know why they haven't made any bikes for them yet. But yeah, what do you guys think about all this? Do you guys think we'll get more crossovers? Do you guys think we'll get a ton more repaints in the line? Are you guys angry about the repaints? Are you guys angry about the crossovers? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to respond to all of you guys. I think I do a pretty good job responding to everybody that talks to me. I just think G.I. Joe has potential to be an all-encompassing line, but still focusing on G.I. Joe, but adding on to G.I. Joe with other lines to make it a more fleshed out world, if that makes any sense. Alright guys, if you guys enjoyed my video, please smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. This is Triple C signing off. Cobra! Bye guys!